Okay, so you have a couple of blocks. You have your bolster, you have your strap. Perfect. That's what you need for class. We are going to start on our backs. Practice today is about, well, we're going to incorporate a little recognition, or maybe not recognition, it's probably not the right word, but just awareness of the pelvic floor. So men and women, we all need to be thinking about the health of that area because it holds all those organs in. Today, it's just going to be about the breath. And we start off with our natural rhythm of breathing. So you have made it here on your mat. So take just a few seconds here to acknowledge that. Because I know what a challenge it is to sometimes walk away from whatever you're doing to take time for yourself, especially during lunchtime. But you've made that commitment to yourself. Don't give this time away. Let the breath flow easy. Mapping the breath as it flows in and as it flows out. For your next few rounds of breath, if you'll place one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly, feel the breath moving predominantly through the belly. So quiet your hand that's to the heart. Let the breath flow down. The diaphragm allows for this efficient movement of air. It sits right below the lungs. It is a muscle. And so when your lungs expand on the inhale, the diaphragm moves down. And I think of the diaphragm kind of as a jellyfish sometimes. So just that flow down and that flow back up. But not only do I want you to kind of visualize that movement of the diaphragm or the jellyfish moving down as you inhale and up as you exhale, the pelvic floor moves in that same way. On the inhale, it's this dance, downward motion and upward motion. Let's continue our practice with movement in a way that feels right for your body. So maybe that's a long stretch. Maybe it's knees into chest, maybe it's a little bit of each of those, maybe it's soles of the feet to the mat and just windshield wipering the feet from side or the legs from side to side. So you have a few, probably about a minute here to move in any way that you need. All right, now let's meet up. If you will grab one of your blocks, we're going to place the block between the thighs, soles of the feet to the mat. Before we begin to move at all, just do a little hug in of the legs. Take a deep breath in and think about that downward motion. As you exhale, the upward motion may be a little engagement of the pelvic floor, and at the same time, begin to bridge yourself up. Hold up in your bridge, take a breath, feel that downward motion. As you exhale, up and in, and slowly release from your bridge pose. Pause at the bottom, take a breath in. This time as you exhale out, bridge up. Hold up in your bridge. Deep breath. Exhaling, lower back down. All right, y'all, you are on your own here to bridge up and down at a pace that feels right. You can slowly articulate through the spine. You could push right up into your bridge pose. The choice is yours. But as you move, stay present with the breath as well. We're going to meet up in a bridge pose. So the next time you arrive there, let's hold, squeezing onto the block. The soles of the feet can be fully connected to the mat, or you could bring your weight a little more into the balls of the feet or a little more into the heels. Just notice though, if you decide to keep the weight evenly distributed, make sure it is that. Sometimes we push to the outside edges of the feet. Pause one more breath here, feeling that breath moving down on the inhale and up on the exhale, and slowly bridge back down. Hug the knee, you can remove the block, hug the knees into the chest. All right, let's rock and roll up to seated. We're going to be in a seated position for a bit, so if you prefer to sit onto a block, feel free to do that. All right, we're going to take a deep breath in, sending the arms all the way up, long stretch up to the ceiling, and then hinge your body and fold, letting the fingertips land to the floor. You're welcome to stay right center, or you could walk your hands to one side and then to the other. Know that we will have one more opportunity for this forward fold very shortly. So if you miss out on something that really you feel like you need, know that you'll have another opportunity. One more breath. Good, let's walk ourselves back in. Fingertips land behind you, And let's open up. Let's do a counter stretch. So you're opening up through the front body, chest open, neck stays long. Good, and then let's release that. Let's switch the position of the legs. The opposite leg will be in front. Let's inhale, sweeping the arms all the way up. As you exhale, hinge the body and let the fingertips land to the floor. Once again, here you have time. Maybe you crawl the fingertips a little more forward. Again, you have those opportunities to walk hands from side to side. And you may notice a difference here. So with this legs in a different position, walking your hands from one side to the other, again, might feel a little different. Good, we walk our hands back in, and once again, we'll do that counter stretch, so fingertips behind you, pressing the heart space open, chest open, keeping your neck long. Good. And then let's release that. So I don't know if sitting on a block or a bolster is going to work for this particular leg position. You can certainly try it if you'd like. It doesn't matter which side you have forward, which side you have back, but you have one, like you've got these two shapes that are very similar, and you're there's a little bit of a connection here with foot to thigh. Again, does not matter here. We're going to twist from here, but what I want you to notice is that hip that's back. There might be a little bit more of elevation on that hip. I'm not going to force anything here, but I want you to think about lengthening down, and we're twisting away from our feet. So you're twisting away from your foot, placing your hand to the top of the thigh, the other fingertips teacupped behind you. All right, so let's once again think about this dance, this movement of the diaphragm and pelvic floor. So on your inhale, let everything flow down. As you exhale, and it flows up, maybe there's slight pelvic floor engagement. Maybe there's more of a twist as well. So stay here one more breath, really feeling the movement and that dance of breath down and up. And let's return to center, and we'll switch to the other side. So same thing here. You may notice that your hip may be up a little higher on one side, just based on the tightness through the hips. Ooh, this side's tight for me. All right, we're gonna sit up tall, and you're twisting away from your feet. On your exhale, maybe slight pelvic floor engagement, maybe more of a twist. Good. Turning back to the front of the room, send the legs long, and do any little shakeout that you need. All right, we're going to move to an all fours position. Have your block close to you. We are once again going to place that block between the thighs. So you're hugging onto the block. Let's take a breath here in tabletop position, just noticing, it's really easy, I find. So take that breath in and out. And let me just say, for me, I find it's really easy to stay focused on my breath when I am on my back. That downward, outward motion seems to escape me as we move. So this is our opportunity to really tune in. All right, let's add cow and cat. We'll find cow pose first with the inhale. As you exhale, round out through the spine. Maybe you snug onto that block a little bit more. Maybe there's a little pelvic floor engagement. On your inhale, returning to cow pose. Your exhale will lead you to cat. Moving a few more rounds at your own breath rate. Feel free to close your eyes and just feel. All right, let's meet back in a tabletop position. You're welcome to stay on all fours, or you could walk your hands slightly forward, curl your toes under, and send the hips up and back for a down dog. So hugging onto the block here, and once again, we're just going to take a couple of rounds of breath, really feeling the movement of the breath down on the inhale, movement of the breath up and out on the exhale. Let's slowly begin to walk hands and feet together, keeping that block between the legs. So it's slow movement. We'll stay in this standing forward bend for just a couple of breaths with the block in place, and then we'll remove it and actually add a twist. All right, so removing that block, placing it to the floor in front of you, and letting your left, and you might not need the block, by the way, so either left hand to the floor or to the block. Your right hand is to the lower part of the back. We're going to twist ourselves open toward the right, keeping the hip square. So that right hand is in place so that you can feel any movement of those hips. Try to keep them square to the floor. One more breath. If you'd like a little more for that right outer thigh, begin to bend your left knee. That left hip will sink. The right arm, you could send it up into the air. Perfect. Return to center. Square off the hips, right hand to the floor or to your block, left hand to the lower part of the back. You're twisting open to the left side. Feeling that twist through the thoracic part of the spine, that mid part of the spine. You're once again welcome to stay, or you could bend your right knee, send the left arm up into the air. You might feel a little more into that left outer thigh. Let your left hand return to a ragdoll shape. You can remove the block if it is underneath you. Let your upper body be completely passive. Shake your head yes and no a couple of times. Shoulders relaxed. We'll make our way to standing. You can choose if you roll up or you reverse swan dive, come all the way up to stand. Good. Once you arrive all the way up, move to the front end of the mat. You may want your block close to you, especially if your hamstrings are tight. And actually, you guys, there's enough if you want to grab a couple of blocks. We'll end up doing a supported warrior 3. So a couple blocks may be helpful. All right. Feet hip bone width apart. We'll start off by inhaling the arms all the way up, stretching up tall. Exhaling, back bend to open up through the front body. Inhale, lengthen up, swan dive forward as you exhale. Inhale, half lift up. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, sweep all the way up, stretch up tall. Exhale, back bend. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, lengthen up. Dive forward as you exhale. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Your right foot will stay. Your left foot will step back for a lunge. We're going to keep this back knee up off the mat to start. So again, blocks may be helpful to you here. Let your left hip sink. Keep your spine aligned, so keeping your head aligned, just looking just slightly out in front of you. Good. We'll let the left knee drop to the mat, but bring it underneath, so kind of bring it forward so that the left knee and left hip are aligned. And let the sacrum, the lower part of the spine, drop. Core engagement here. Send your arms all the way up. You can choose to stay right here, or once again, add a little bit of a back bend, maybe cactus-shaped arms, maybe hands clasped behind you. You can even do a little bit of a half of a camel pose, left hand to the lower part of the back, right arm up and back, or you could reverse that, either way. And then we'll let our hands land down around the right foot. You might want to shimmy this left foot back just a little bit. We'll shift the weight back to find our half splits. So your right heel is to the mat. You could always drop the right foot fully to the mat to stretch through the front of the foot and the shin. You could keep your body center, or you could bring both hands to the outside of that right foot, right leg. Keep sending your right hip back. It may want to pop forward. We pause here, one more breath. Feel that breath moving down and up and out. We'll begin to walk ourselves forward, curling the left toes under, lifting that left foot up off the mat, or left leg is going to come all the way up for your warrior three. So you're walking yourself forward. The left leg is up, left toes, left knee facing straight down to your mat. Good. Pause right here. You could find a full warrior three or any other pose from here that you'd like to practice, or just stay. All right, we gently land in a warrior two. So take your time, let that left foot land. Windmill your arms all the way up. Let's rotate the palms to face up, externally rotating through the shoulders. All right, as we hold here for a couple more breaths, your feet aren't going to move, but get a sense of them pulling in toward each other. And then let's find that breath. So breath in, dance down, breath up and out, maybe a little bit more pull center. Good. Let your hands land around either to the blocks or to the floor. Pivot onto your back toes. Step your right foot in to join your left, standing forward bend. We do that same series other side, so we'll go right forward. Left foot steps back. We find a lunge. All right, so pausing for just a couple of breaths here. See what you can find in terms of opening through the front of your left hip. Oh, yeah, I think I did. I did that. Nope, that is, ooh, that feels really good. All right, so your left foot forward, right? Left foot forward. It was me, sorry. I turned around, that was my problem. All right, drop your back knee down. Again, aligning hip and knee, and then walk yourself up. Maybe hands stay to thigh. Maybe arms go all the way up. Maybe you find a back bend here. But think of opening up through the front body and keeping that sacrum tucked under so that you have a little abdominal engagement here. Hands land down around your left foot, or they are to the blocks. You'll shift your weight back. We find half splits. So again, and awareness that there are options here. Whatever you chose on that first side, do a little bit of that here as well, but there might be something different that you find as you explore a little bit. So hands to the outside of the leg, maybe sole of the foot to the mat. And we will shift our weight forward, curling the right toes under and lifting that right leg all the way up into the air for a modified version of Warrior 3, or whatever else you want to make this. Great opportunity just to check in, right toes, right knee facing straight down to your mat. Just getting a sneak peek of that, how it feels. I know from the feeling I have right now that my toes are likely a little out to the side when I do a Warrior 3. We gently move to Warrior 2. Take your time. Good. And once you arrive here, finding the deep lunge, finding those feet, see if you can pull without moving the feet. Just feel that energy flowing together. Left foot pulls back, right foot pulls forward. Good. All right, we cartwheel our hands down around the left foot. Here's a change from the last time we exited Warrior 2. Drop your right knee to the mat. Left knee comes back to join it. You're in a modified plank. You can make this a plank pose if you'd like. We'll lower all the way down to the mat. Slide the forearms forward. Let's find a Sphinx pose. So palms to the mat. Gently draw your forearms back and your chest forward. Find the length through the front body. You are welcome to stay right here. You could also make this a little more active by dropping down, sending the arms back for locust pose, or the arms forward for superhuman, whatever here you would like to find. If you'd like a little engagement, feel free to do that. If you prefer to have it be a little more passive, stay in Sphinx. We have one more breath. Again, feeling that breath move down and up. Let's release down, push up and back to find an extended child's pose. Palms can remain down, palms can rotate to face up. You could place your palms together and bring your thumbs to the back of the neck. You can even walk the elbows forward a little bit here to stretch through the shoulders. All right, let's slowly walk ourselves up. We're going to be sitting back onto our heels if that is not comfortable for you. A couple of options. You could place that bolster underneath you here. You could also place the block, or instead place a block. And I should have said, all before you do that, grab your strap. Open up through the shoulders just a little bit here. Pretty good distance between your hands. Inhale to bring the arms up. Exhale, find a stretch through the front of the shoulders. And when you find that stretch, notice if you find an arch in the back as well. So keeping that spinal alignment here, slight abdominal engagement. Once again, return to your breath. Slowly release. We'll do that one more time. So maybe hands come closer together, maybe they stay the same, go further apart. On your inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, stretch and hold. Now you are welcome to stay centered. You could also do just a little bit of a lateral bend. One side and then the other. One more breath. Perfect. And then let's release. All right, you can release that strap. We are going to make our way to the wall to wrap up with hips and final relaxation. So if you want to bring your bolster with you for any support, that is an option, but all you'll need otherwise is your mat. And when you are ready to send your legs up into the air, you can go right for that. All right, we'll start with the inner thigh opening. So let the legs go wide once you arrive. Upper body is relaxed. Slowly bring your legs back up to center. Your left leg will remain straight. Your right ankle comes above that left knee. For an upside down figure four, stay right here, or you can begin to slide the sole of the left foot down the wall. Shoulders, neck, face, all relaxed. Let's switch to the other side. Slowly release, sending both legs up the wall. We are going to twist from here. So just take note that if you decide you need to push yourself slightly away from the wall for this pose, feel free to do that. All right, we're sliding both feet down the wall, and then you'll begin to walk your feet over to the right. Send your arms wide. Again, you have this leverage in this twist. It might not feel so good to be close into the wall. Feel free to scoot yourself away. Maybe turning to look to your left. Slowly walk your feet to the other side. Maybe turning to look to your right. Slowly walk feet back to center. All right, if there is anything else you'd like to do here, maybe you needed more of an outer thigh opener, maybe more of a twist. If you'd like to keep your legs up the wall, feel free to send those legs up. If you want to come off the wall for final relaxation, feel free to find your way there. We are going to practice a breathing pattern together. We'll inhale for 4 counts when we start and exhale for 6 counts. And I will lead that count for about 3 rounds or for 3 rounds, and then you'll be on your own. Whether or not you'd like to continue with that count will be up to you. So together, let's inhale 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whether or not you stay with that breathing pattern or that particular count, try to let the exhale be longer than the inhale. Let the exhale bring the sense of peace and calm. And let your body bathe in it. Let's take 2 clearing breaths together. These will be in through the nose, we'll sigh out through the mouth. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bring some easy movement back to your body. We're going to roll to our favorite side and rest for a couple of breaths. You can push yourself away from the wall slightly as you do this. Take your time to find a seated position. Let's take one more deep breath in together, sending the arms up on the inhale. Exhaling, hands to heart. The light in me honors and appreciates the light in each of you. Namaste, friends.